Okay, it's starting. Hi guys, welcome to the show. Here's a bit of intro for you. All right, cool. Hi guys, welcome. I have on this side our kindness incorporator for the week, which is who is Francis Otieno Amonde. Did I say that right, Amonde?
Yeah.
How do you
Yes.
say it?
It came out well.
It came out well. See me. I know Otieno. That one I can go with. Amonde is new. That
Sorry.
one is new. But he is my kindness incorporator for the week. I want to say for the month, and that's why we have a special day for him. He is. I want to have him talk about what he does. But what has moved me the most is what he does. He's the founder of Cup of Uji, and if you ever see for me, I always try to highlight what he's doing if I can. But introducing our kindness incorporator of the week is Francis. Francis, please tell us a bit more about you, please.
Thank you so much. That was so hyped up, and I feel like, wow. Okay, so where do I pick it up from?
Okay, what do you do? Let's start there. What do you do? Who is Francis? We want to know about
uh,
Francis today.
okay. So basically, I happen to be the founder and executive director of Kapovuji, and Francis is just a young Kenyan trying to make a difference in the lives of less privileged children in Kenya through Kapovuji, and the last one in a family of 5, and also celebrating his birthday on 26th of September this year. So yeah. So it's and then I'm a Christian as well, so that's why mostly some of my posts have my Jesus story hashtag on them. And yes, it has gotten me to a little bit of problems, and people asking about it and me to explain more about it and all that stuff. I love reading, I love writing. My background is in journalism and mass communication. And then I'm also a Rotaractor at the Rotaract Club of Thika in Kenya. So
Okay.
I'm just a happy person generally.
Cool. So my audience, of course, is a lot more US. There are some people, of course, who are global. So some of them don't even know what Uji is. So do you mind just going in just a bit about why you picked Cup of Uji and what exactly Uji is?
Okay, this has always been the biggest trouble of my life, explaining to people what Uji is. Okay, let me just use the word porridge because if I Uji, let me just say Uji is a Swahili word for porridge. So go Google porridge and then look what porridge is all about, because if I try explaining what porridge is about, people are going to take it another way in another direction. So and basically that came about as a result of me visiting a school where my late mom happens to be a teacher. That is way back in 2011. So I was uh, I was by then a student in campus. So when I went to that school, there were this kid. They were in the school. Yes, it was a public primary school called the Nyachere Primary School in Homa Bay County, Kenya. So basically, the kids didn't look that healthy, and I made a point of asking her what their story was, why they were looking the way they were looking. And then she made a point of explaining to me that most of these kids in this community come from backgrounds where they're either partial or total orphans. And it meant that most of them were staying with grandparents, and most of these grandparents didn't have a stable source of income. So in essence, the kids would come to school in the morning without either having had breakfast or,
Mm,
or dinner the previous night, or without having had both of those meals. So I started thinking that in my own small way, from my own personal pocket, what is it that I could afford to do for these kids? And then I had the idea of doing them lunch of rice and
Okay.
beans. But I did the math and it wasn't adding up. Like when you're a student, being broke is real.
It's
So
real all the time, not just at
yeah.
like all the time. You're broke all the time. Yeah, I
Yeah, so
agree.
however much I could have saved, it couldn't afford to do rice and beans for the kids. So then I went back home and then I said, okay, how about I do uji, which is now porridge? And I did the math and I was like, yes, this is affordable. This is something I can sacrifice the resources for and come through for these kids. And actually, by then, I was only to focus on the preschool kids, those in nursery, baby class, and pre-unit, which were basically slightly over 100 children. So that was affordable. That was affordable. Yes. So that was the birth of Kakubuji in 2011.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you for at least the backstory. Um, Usually on my life, so what I define as a kindness incorporator, by the way, is somebody who celebrates kindness when they see it. I mean, and then if they don't see it, they actually become the kindness. And that's to me what you've done and what you continue to do is if you see that something is missing and that kindness needs to happen, you're like, okay, you know what? Let's see what we can do. Let me figure out resources so that at least we can try to help people. And to me, that's literally what the definition of a kindness incorporator is, which is why I wanted to have you on my show. I'm putting over here, okay, some people are going to hear me talk a bit of Swahili. I am so sorry because people are not used to that. But it's not even Swahili, it's like Sheng more than anything. It's a mixture of English.
Just tell them, let them know that it is corrupted Swahili.
Yes, corrupted Kiswahili. I am sorry in advance, and even my accent, the voice though. So I'm putting over here. I'm putting down here the how you can find Francis. He is doing really great things with what he has. He can do even greater things if you're able to donate to its cup of uji. You'd be feeding a lot of people, and it's not just feeding. It's not just the eating part because he even helps students out. He does a lot of things with that money. So whatever you can do, he appreciates it. Even some encouragement sometimes. I would assume he does encourage. He
Yeah, yes, I
like
do. Sometimes you feel low. You are like, okay, am I even on the right path? And you're like, and someone comes in and sends you a message. You're like, wow, yes, I needed this. I needed this to carry on. So yes, that is very important, very key.
that makes me happy. That makes me like really happy to hear that. Yes, we all need encouragement, and the thing about it is when you don't even know where the next amount of money is coming from, it's scary. So I feel like I know where you're coming from, and whatever we can do to help. I have a great network of people who know people. So even if it's just one or two people who will hear this story, I think it will make a difference. So whoever comes on my show, I usually ask them three questions. Um, the first one is, and this is going to be very easy for you. What does it look like to be kind in the industry that you are in?
Oh, it is tough. Let me just say it is tough. It is not easy. It is not easy because one you meet either you will also find people who take advantage of your kindness. That is there. That is the most scary bit of it. There are people who take advantage of your kindness. So
That's
sometimes you
number
need
two.
to
Don't
dig
speak.
deep.
But go
Yeah,
ahead,
so
go ahead. I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
it ends up someone doing a lot of due diligence on things that you could have just let go. But now you have to do a lot of due diligence because you realize that people will not be who will not really mean well, or and also you have people who make individuals and companies do make promises and never honor them. Like it is the most painful of things to happen to people. And you are there, you had this promise. Maybe a company said, "Oh, we will be supporting you for 5 years." All of a sudden, they support you for 1 year and then they disappear. You're like, "What?" Like, yeah, it leaves you there hanging, and you see you are hanging, and head teachers in the respective schools are calling you and asking you, "Okay, are we having something for this year?" And you're there, you're like, let's trust God for the best, because you don't know what else to do, because you are not prepared for that. So yeah,
Mm.
it's tough. It's tough.
Wow. I'm sorry, I am trying to type this out because you make some very valid points, and of course, this is something that you live with all of the time, especially because you're it's like you have a charity, and it depends on donations. So when somebody comes and says, "Hey, Francis, I have here you go, I have like 100,000 Kenya shillings I want to give you," and then when it's time for that money to be transferred, they're
Then
like,
disappear.
they go you. They're like, you don't even hear
Yeah,
from them.
yeah, they put you in some very awkward positions, because, like, for example, like the school we have in Kilifi, that is Tanje Private, we was put up classrooms for them, and then people are so promising, and companies were so promising, and then all of a sudden, and some of them even sent their people to the school to just go and see for themselves, and they're like, "Oh, you're going to support." And then all of a sudden, there is dead silence. So you have bought
Mm.
some of the materials, they're waiting there, and you're literally stuck. And you're like, "Okay, what is the next move here?"
Mm.
Yes, it happens.
How does
It
it make you
happens.
feel when that happens? If you don't mind me asking, how does it make you feel?
You feel so low, like you feel extreme, because you wanted that phase of the project to be complete, like especially if it is construction of those classrooms, because it was classrooms, the kitchen, washrooms for boys and washrooms for girls, because in the old school initially they only had washrooms for girls, which means boys would definitely go to the bush. And then recently, I
Mm-hmm.
think it is the county government constructed some two-door toilets. So now they're able to take girls to that one and leave the other two-door toilets for the boys. So at least that is on a minimum side. So yeah, if such certain things, and if such promises fail, you are like, you have those kids in your mind. Like, I wish these people knew what is on the other side. Like, I wish they just had a feel of what is on the other side, and how
Mm-hmm.
this would have really come through for these kids in the long term. If you are learning in a great environment, definitely you'll be motivated even to perform. You know, yeah,
Yep.
and the other students in other schools will be looking at you in other lenses. They will be like, "Wow, your school looks like this and all that," because we had the design, we shared even the designs out there, and it is one of those amazing designs in terms of construction of classrooms that we have, and we still hope, and believe that it shall come to pass. But yes, such instances make you feel low and those pain. Yes.
Wow. Like, I mean, you literally stepped into my second question, which was, have you ever experienced a time when your kindness was taken as a weakness? Because I agree with you. There is sometimes people take advantage of the situation. They want to look good when they're saying, "I'm going to give you all this money." Sometimes they promise, and then other things might have happened, right? Like
Mm.
the rug gets pulled under them, and it makes you feel low. But what makes Francis still continue to wake up in the morning and be like, you know what, this is not what's going to break me today? What is it that makes you think, okay, today is going to be a good day? Today we're going to get that money. What is it that motivates you, if you don't mind me asking?
I think for me, the one thing that motivates me is because I visit these schools, I visit these children, and the one thing that motivates me is the smiles on their faces. Let me just give you an example. There's this girl that you are admitting to St. Barnabas girls just the other day, in high school in Form 1, and that girl was not talking. That girl, I think, when I went to pick her at their home, she was, I think, even skeptical as to, is this even true? Is this even happening? And then we reached the school, and finally, once she has gotten the whole school uniform package, she smiled, and I was like, wow, okay, that just happened. Like, I thought she wasn't even a smiling human being, because I think, yeah. So such instances make me feel like, wow, it might look like a small gesture, but it definitely goes a long way, because you're like, wow, you just made that person feel something in some kind of a way.
Mm.
Like, there is hope, there is, like, it is not the end of the road for me. I can still pursue my dreams and all that. And then if it comes to the meals that we give to the kids, and then you just see, you look at the kids when you go to a school running towards the kitchen to get served, and you're like, wow, and you listen to their stories. Because let me give you a story. In March, I was at home, in our rural home, and then some friends. It's actually a couple. I was actually, I organized their wedding, when they were wedding, I think some years back. And so when they came to visit me, and they were like, so they were like, hey, Francis, there is a girl whose home is neighboring ours, and she has always been begging us to just come and say thank you. And I'm like, why? What did I do? And they explained to me that for this girl, apparently the mother had passed away.
Mm.
So the father remarried, and whoever the father remarried was not really friendly to her. So as a
Mm.
result of wanting to punish her, she never gets any single meal at home. So the only meal she's able to get is what we provide as kapovuji in the school. That hit me different. Like, I was like, wow, I didn't know we had such kind of an impact. Like, someone is looking forward to the meal in school, because at home, someone is punishing them for something they didn't even know about, something they didn't even do. So such things, I think they keep me going. Like, such stories keep me going. Yeah.
I don't even know what to type here because I'm like, really, like you have human beings who are denying other human beings food
Yes. Yes.
at
Yes.
home,
Yes.
and they're supposed to be
Yeah.
your family.
Yes. It's a whole complex situation. So yeah, so such stories, and just seeing the joy in the faces of the kids. Uh, I think I remember there was this one time we went to a school with my team of volunteers, and so there was this boy. I think I'm always keen on people just getting to know what is behind the scene. So I spot this boy when people are being served, and I'm like, I look at his eyes, and his eyes are red. Then I say, no, this boy is hungry. He's not unwell. He's just hungry. So I go
Mm-hmm.
talk to him. Then I tell him, how you feeling? Like, he tells me about some feeling of like headache. And I'm like, this headache that is related to hunger, like someone who has stayed on an empty stomach for long. So I alert all the students and tell them, could you please allow me to serve him fast? And then they allow me to serve him fast. Then I serve him fast, and then I go and put him on a shade. Let me tell you, this boy had, how would I describe it? An example of a school uniform. Like, it was totally torn. The short was totally torn. He didn't have shoes, and his shirt was also torn on the side. And then my team saw that, and they were like, "Okay, don't worry about this. We got this. Let's do something for this boy." So the next day, my team sent a tailor to come and take measurements of the boy. They
Mm-hmm.
went and made a full school set of uniform, bought a school bag, bought shoes, and then they brought to the school. Let me tell you, for them, they were, both them and the teachers were shocked, because the teachers were like, we have never seen this boy smile until today. When he
Wow.
received that set of school uniform, he smiled for the first time since joining that school. So yeah, so it's just the small things, and such things give me the motivation to just carry on, regardless of challenges that might be there. I'm like, let me just push on. For this kind of people, let me just push on. Yeah.
Wow. Like that's,
Yeah.
I mean, it's inspired. It's sad, then it's
Yeah.
happy. It's
Yeah.
inspiring. It's motivating. It's
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to my third question. My third question is, what makes you happy? Simple. What makes you
What
happy?
makes me happy? Just serving humanity. That is the biggest thing that makes me happy. Just being out there serving humanity in whatever capacity, visiting those villages, having conversations, because sometimes, especially for 2020 when you are having, mostly you are visiting the families because kids were at home, schools were closed,
Mm-hmm.
and you are giving care packages to the families and a program we call Be Nice KE. So you're just buying food packages and buying sanitizers, buying a bar of soap, and also sharing face masks for some of the families, so that at least we cushion them. Because if the kids were in school, we were basically feeding them. So if they're at home, it meant that the situation is even more worse. So we tried to come through it that way, and just going there,
Wow.
having conversations. I think those moments make you realize, or like you become happy because you're like something so small, something that might look so small you've done for someone,
Mm-hmm.
and you get to hear the feedback from it, and you're like, wow. Because I remember we started with this motorcycle taxis. We call them boda boda in Kenya. In Nigeria, they call them Okada. So, so basically, so we started with those families because I have always had interactions with them. Sometimes we use them for deliveries and everything. So they're also going through a rough time because most of their customers either were working from home, schools were closed, so the kids they would transport to school were no longer being transported to school. So it meant their income reduced. So we said, let's start by coming through for them. And then later on, you get feedback that, the supply, like, I think as late as, I think, a month or two ago, the supplies that we gave some of them in December, they still had it, you see. And they were like so grateful. They're like, yes, that supply of food is still with us and it has really kept us going. So just listening to that and just seeing them wearing, because we gave them also reflector jackets for safety reasons that are written Kapoguji and Be Nice K at the back. And just sometimes passing by and just seeing them wearing those reflector jackets for safety
Mm-hmm.
purposes, you just feel it's just an amazing feeling. So yes, such things just make me happy. And also when these kids excel in life, uh, because we also have students who we sponsor through school. So let me give you a case. There's
Mm-hmm.
this girl. So this girl was apparently she passed her KCSE. She was to join public university, that is Technical University of Kenya in
Mm-hmm.
Nairobi. Apparently, the parents couldn't afford. The mother has been bedridden for the longest time possible. She has been unwell. So every
Mm-hmm.
little earning that the father gets goes into medication and medication and medication. So they couldn't afford the fee. So then I
Mm-hmm.
got some. Then I say, okay. So she deferred for the first year. Now the second time, she was again almost deferring. So someone alerted me about her case. She was coming from a place called Kericho. So someone alerted me about her case. And I was like, no, once you defer for 1 year in Kenya, like you can't defer for a second year. So you will forfeit the opportunity to join university.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, no, this is not happening. And then I just decided, let me try and see what we could do for her in our own small ways. And we made sure she joined. So she was pursuing chemical engineering and she's now waiting to graduate. And
Mm-hmm.
so I remember, I think is it last year but one, there was this competition that was in their school, and then she reached out and she was like, there's this competition that these guys who have come, they're saying the people who will emerge the best in this competition will
Mm-hmm.
go to the UK for I think 2 weeks. And so she was asking me, to begin with, I don't even have a passport. Then I told her, the fact that God has brought you in terms of our journey working with you, uh, you sign up for that competition, go compete. And she went and joined the competition. She was among the best. So, and then she's like, okay, how do I get a passport? Then I sent her cash. I'm like, okay, here is the cash.
Mm-hmm.
Go to your house, go get your go start applying for your passport. And then apparently on the day she went there, the person she found on the other side of the desk was actually a lady who had been studying at the same institution she studied. So in essence, that lady just helped her through the process to the extent that I think within a week she got her passport, because all the other costs were to be taken care of. Now this is a
Yeah.
girl who was from a village somewhere in Kericho. For the first time in her life, taking a flight out of the country, the first flight she's ever had to the UK, and going to stay there for 2 weeks. I think she couldn't believe it. So yeah, those are those happy moments. Those are the things that you're like, yes, someone is realizing their dreams. And yeah, it makes me happy. Yes.
That fills my heart with so much joy. First of all, for some people who may not know this, it takes forever sometimes for you to get a passport. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yes.
it takes you 45 days, 60 days, and I'm just talking from the US. So in Kenya, it can take so much longer. So you can see that kindness, the connection that she had went such a long way, and the kindness of the person processing the passport made so much. The kindness of you guys, being able to help her. First of all, just giving her the confidence to think to herself, you know what, maybe I can do it. Somehow it's going to work out. So let me just continue. Like that is a gift. That is a gift. I am so happy she came across your path. And some people may not understand this, but regardless of where you come from, going to another country, it humbles you. It really, really humbles you. So giving her the chance of experiencing all of that, it makes you so thankful for the kindness of others, for God, of course, for allowing this to happen, and for the people like you who made it possible. So you get an applause, 5 stars, 10 stars, all the stars.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, those are the things that make me happy. Just seeing students excel, and even getting school reports from even the students we have in high school. We always get so much positive feedback. Like they're pushing themselves because this is an opportunity of a lifetime for them to just get a scholarship to study and not worry about school fee, not worry about some pocket money, something for the pockets to spend, not worry about books. It is something amazing for them. So yeah, so these are things that just make me happy when you talk to them, you listen to them, and you see them excelling, and you're like, wow, this person has come a long way, and yeah, they're heading somewhere. They're heading somewhere. So yeah, those are things that make. And even when companies come through, when maybe a company says, "Oh, we are giving you these kgs of porridge flour," or an individual just says, "Today I feel like I'm blessing this number of students, or I just want to support a student in school, or I just want to support a meal for a kid." It, it might look like something so small, but it goes a long way. That simple meal, that school fee, that like everything just goes a long way. So sometimes people say, "Oh, what I've given, this is so little," and all that, and I'm like, I wish you knew the impact of what you've just done. I wish you could see it on the other side. Because it goes a long way, and you're like, "Wow, I wish this person wasn't looking at the smallness of whatever they're giving, but looking at the other side of the story where the impact is going to come out. It's going to be something so huge, and yeah, something that is beyond all of us." So yeah.
First of all, thank you for saying that, because some people may not realize it. For those of you who may not know, so in Kenya, they actually have Kenyan shillings. So $1 is 100 Kenya shillings, right? Or has it gone up or down? So how much, I know you usually on the posters I see of yours, it says 30 Kenya shillings, but how much is a kg of OG?
A kg of uji, it goes for 125 shillings, which is $1.25. Yeah, so that is $1.25. Yeah.
Got it. So $1.25.
Yes, and that's all a kid for all man. Just imagine. They get uji for all man, they get puri for all man. So yeah.
Wow. So the $1.25 takes you porridge for a whole month, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Understood. So when we talk about everything goes such a long way, it really, really goes such a long way. Wow. Okay, so first of all, I don't believe we've been talking for 30 whole minutes. 30 whole minutes we've been talking, but we have covered so much. Um, I'm going to run the intro that I usually do because some people may have to leave after a half hour. And then
Yes.
if you would like us to continue, we can do that. You can ask questions. I can ask questions. We can continue for a whole hour. I love
Yeah.
conversations like this because I get to learn more about Capo Uji. So it makes me happy. I get to learn more about Francis. So I'll just put the intro for a bit.
Okay.
Thanks. Sweet, sweet, sweet. So we are back. So if there was anything you could share with us, Francis, what would it be?
Each one reach one.
Ooh,
That's
ooh,
that,
ooh, 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 ooh.
that's the
Hold
message.
up.
That's the message. Each one reach one. It goes a long way. You don't have to reach to 5,000 kids that you reach out to right now, but just each one reach one. It is the most impactful thing you can do. Just try and reach one soul, one human being, one individual. Just try and make a difference in one person's life.
Let me see if I typed correctly because maybe I heard wrong. Because that can happen. Give me a second. Let me see if I got that right. Is that it? Each one reach one?
Yes, yes. Each one reach one. Yes, yes,
Simple. Straight to the
yes.
point.
That's how we make this world a happy place. That is how we make this world a better place. That is how we spread kindness. That is how we spread love. So yeah.
So if I was to ask this question, and of course you can choose not to answer it.
Yeah.
If you could get one wish, what would that wish be?
Oh my goodness. My
I
wish.
put you on blast. I'm sorry.
Let me tell you. My wish would be, let me just say it because this is something I've been praying over it for the longest time. So my wish would be if I could get maybe an individual or individuals or companies just to invest in what we have in terms of what we have thought through as income generating activities, so that we totally stop depending on donations. Like we depend on those income generating. That is my wish. That is my only wish right now. If we can have people will say we want to just support whatever income generating activities you want to invest in so that you can become 100% self-sustaining, like you don't have to rely on donations to be able to run your things. That would be it for me. That would be it.
Wow. Okay. I like that. So then you become almost self-sustainable, and then you don't
Yes.
have to. Okay, I like that. So if you don't mind me asking, what are some of
Yes.
the income generating ideas that you have?
Okay, one we are hoping to have maybe some a few fast food restaurants, starting with
Mhm.
Leafy, and then we are also thinking of doing investments in government bonds, because that is a safe place. You are sure, like, okay, you won't lose money. And also doing how do we call it? There is this one, doing stocks,
Okay.
just having shares in companies, so that every year we get dividends from those companies.
Hmm.
So that's whatever we get as dividends, you use it to support the kids. That would be a whole big thing, because not all, like, let's say you invest in 10 companies, not all of them will make losses. So at least you will
True.
find at least some five that made profit and give you some better dividends to be able to at least support the kid. And then, yeah, that is, and also government bonds, and because government bonds are actually more safe than anything else,
Okay.
and also just coming up with a fund, a kind of how do we call it? How do we normally call it? I'm trying to find the word, and it's investing in a fund, growing just a fund for things like that, so that you have, in the long term, you have something you can always run back to. So aside from all the investment, just having a fund somewhere where you will be just picking the interest from it, and then
Mhm.
reinvesting it again. And yeah, so those are some of the things that we are thinking about right now. It will make the reason we are thinking in that line, because those items are kind of uh, less intense in terms of, it doesn't really require us to also get some human resource working on such kind of things. Once you have an investment firm that you approach, the legit ones, because there are also those
Mhm.
that are not legit. So once you have the legit ones who just invest on your behalf, and yeah, so everything just works like clockwork. And then having the fast food restaurants, just, the idea that people and then you put it out there and tell people, once you eat in this restaurant, let me tell you, whatever comes out of it goes into feeding again somewhere. Everyone would want to eat there. Definitely. You are, by just eating in a place, you are feeding someone else. That's it. That's it. Yeah. So
That's
so those are
true.
the plans. Those are the plans that we so far are thinking about. We wouldn't really think about real estate because that is capital intensive. It's stressful. It is capital intensive. It takes time, and the returns are also not really okay. In Kenya, you see now in Kenya, our real estate segment is not really that, in terms of the interest, in terms of even the financing. It's not that. The cost of putting it all together is not that minimal. So it would be like, it would take a whole so many years to be able to get back whatever initial investment you need. So it wouldn't be really a
Mhm.
wise to get into. So yeah,
That's true. So at least in terms of short-term gain, that wouldn't be
yes,
the best way to be investing your money, at least for right
yeah,
now. If it was long-term,
yeah,
that makes more sense.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Cool, cool,
But
cool.
even
So,
government bonds, because you have government bonds that mature maybe after 20 years. So if so, but they will be giving you interest periodically, like maybe quarterly or half yearly. So you'll just be relying on that interest they give you, and then now at the end of that 20 years, they give you back your entire cash, and then you think of maybe investing another bond. So yeah, so that is it. Yeah.
okay. Sweet. So, where can we get that shirt that you're wearing? Can we just buy it somewhere, or it's just specific to Francis and his team?
Okay, the problem that we've always had is exporting stuff, because we are yet to find a company that is kind enough. So please, as we talk about kindness, please talk to some companies. Maybe I hope maybe someone from a company like DHL is listening or something, like, so that they just say, as part of us also trying to be on this kindness train, whatever, if Kapo Buji is exporting t-shirts to people who want them maybe in other countries, then we will be doing that for them for free, just to support what they do, because it
Mm,
is the most expensive thing. Exporting an item is the most, because there are taxes, and like, it's a complex. I remember we wanted to export laundry baskets. There are people who wanted laundry baskets outside Kenya, because in 2019 we basically went to Turkana to give relief food to people there in the villages. And so
mm-hmm,
as I was going through those villages, I love having conversations, though I was using an interpreter because they couldn't speak Swahili, they couldn't speak English. So as I
mm-hmm,
was going through those villages, then I met this, I walked into a home of this old mama, and she was making laundry basket, and they're making some very good quality laundry baskets where you can just put clothes inside. And then I was like, by the way, what if we could get, like, if we could sell, like, for them these baskets at
mm-hmm,
least maybe twice in a year, and then
mm-hmm,
give them the proceeds to at least do something for themselves without relying on relief food. And
mm-hmm.
so yeah, so the first time, yes, I just put with my cash from them. I told them, okay, these are the different sizes, so you guys agree on how much you're going to sell them to me at, and then I just put and then brought them to Nairobi and sold them to individuals in Nairobi. But there were quite a number of people who really wanted them out of the country. And
Mm-hmm.
then I apparently went to DHL. I was told like they charge for the space that will be occupied by the basket. Now that was the most expensive thing. So the space that would be occupied by one would be like, I think the cost of like, I think 50 or so of those baskets the way we buy them. So I was like, that was not going to really make economical sense. So yeah, so we hope we are still hopeful that at least one day that truth will open up, and then we are able to support those women because they're still in my
Mm-hmm.
heart. So I still hope to support them. Because I was like, because you see, if we sell them out of the country and they're able to get that resource, it can last them for at least some time. And
Yeah.
they can have the choice of what to do with their money, either be it paying school fee, be it buying food, so they have, when you have your own cash, there is a way you have some leeway as to how you're going to spend it. But if someone just brings, because I might be bringing you beans in terms of relief food and rice, but at the back of your head, you needed school fee for your kid, or you needed a drug to buy to medicate yourself with. Maybe there was an ailment you are suffering from. So that's what sometimes I think, yeah, empowering them that way would have really been amazing and just awesome. So yeah, we're still thinking around it. Yeah.
That's true. I agree with you. It also fills you with so much confidence when you know that you just worked for something and then now you're able to feed your kids, you're able to pay school fees, able to do
Yeah.
all of these things compared to getting it from somebody else. And hey, you might not know when the next one is going to come, but at least if you know you're utilizing your skills and feeling empowered, it's, the next generation will be affected also in such a good way.
Yeah. True.
So we are coming on to almost 45 minutes. If I may ask, so I'll put down here where you can find Cup of Uji. Um, and I've also put where you can find Francis. Is there anywhere else that if people are looking for you that they can find you other than LinkedIn?
Oh yes, I'm on Twitter at Francis Amonde. Though I'm still using all three names, but it is at Francis Amonde on Twitter. The reason why I'm using all my official names is because I realized that people are creating a pseudo account. So I was like, I don't want to go through the trouble of people having to find me in the crowd. So let me use all my official names. So yeah, so I'm using at Francis Amonde on Twitter, and then on Facebook I'm using Francis Otieno Amonde. I don't have a page on Facebook, basically because some people started sending me messages, relationship messages. So I was like, someone is like, do you have someone? So I was like, I don't want to deal with this one. So I have only an account. I don't have a page. I deleted the page completely. So if you find any page in my name that is not an account, please just ignore it.
Okay, hold up. So for Twitter, so I want to talk about that. So for Twitter, it's at Francis Otieno Amonde. Is that right?
Yeah.
Are there
Yes, that
any
is
hashtags? Not hashtags. Are there any dashes or no? It's just one word
on
on Twitter.
on Twitter. It is at Francis Amonde, at Francis Amonde. So there is no dash, there is no nothing. It's at Francis Amonde, capital F, capital A.
Okay, so Otieno is not there.
It is there, but it is not. You see, there is your username, and then there is also the full name. So the full name is Francis Between Amonde, but the at is at Francis Amonde.
Okay, there you go.
Yes,
So I'll take that off.
yes,
Let me see. I'm gonna type it out so you can see if I got that right.
yes. It's capital F, capital A. I don't know. I don't know whether that's normally affects whatever.
I don't think so, but you know what? Me, I'll just put it anyway. At
Yes,
capital F and a capital A, right?
yes, yes,
Let's see if that works.
yes. And then on Facebook, it is Francis Otieno Amonde.
Facebook is.
Francis Otieno Amonde.
Okay. Let's see if that works.
Uh,
Okay.
so I
Is
think
that
you
right?
need to do this. I think you need to do the specific because Facebook is an account. It's not a page. So the Francis, the Otieno, the Amonde, they're three separate because it's just an account.
My apologies to everybody watching for the dead silence that you are listening to right now as I type things out.
Understandable. You are moving on the line of Twitter and then you have Facebook, so it's understandable. Yes, that is correct. And then for Capo Fuji, on LinkedIn it is there as Capo Fuji with spaces in between. And
When I copy
then
it, that's what happens. It says Hope
yes,
Alive.
that is what happens. I don't know why it comes like that, but that is what happens. So we don't have any other option. But if you click on that, it takes you to Capo Fuji. And
Cool.
then on Twitter, it is at Capo Fuji Kenya. On Twitter, it is Capo Fuji Kenya. Yes, and then on Facebook, it is Capo Fuji.
If you guys didn't understand what's happening here, it's just Cup of Uji. Just Google Cup of Uji, you'll find all of these.
I think the problem will come about this Uji, like the people are like, what Uji?
Uji.
Uji is Porridge.
But no, so first of all, thank you. First of all, this is for everybody watching. This is the first time I am talking to Francis. He was nice enough. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, his time, just so you know. Look at how awake he looks. This guy hasn't even gone to sleep yet. Whew. So thank you, first of all, for that. Second, thank you so much for everything that you do. You are feeding people who would probably not have been fed. You are clothing them. You are helping them to get educated. You are literally helping the next generation of people coming out of Kenya, coming out of Africa. And I like how you said, each one reach one. Like you're starting from your corner of the world, and now there's people who've actually visited the UK because of that. Like that is, it's touching to me. I think it's touching to a lot of people. And it shows how kind you are, how kind the people around you are for them to want to help. I'm gonna start crying, so I'm going to stop. But I would like to just
And you can proceed with the links because I think there is Instagram. There is also Capo Fuji on Instagram. So
yes. And IG. Yeah. Me, all these social media is just, and let me be quiet. I might get banned. On Instagram, it's what?
Capo Fuji.
Capo Fuji.
Yeah.
Cool. Are you guys on TikTok also?
No, I'm personally on TikTok, but I don't know. I don't know whether I think I want. Please don't laugh. This is a very serious story. One time tried a video. I don't know whether even the audio was there. But yes, I tried a video. I tried that. It was in the midst of COVID. And I was like, I just needed to be happy. So I climbed on top of my bed and started dancing. And I'm like, yeah, I have two left feet. But on that day, I tried.
TikTok makes you do things.
I just wanted to have a happy feeling because I was like, there was so much sadness around the world. No one knew what COVID was. No one knew how to even deal with it. And you are like, this is just too much. This thing is just too much. And no one knew even which kind of, okay, what do you need to do? Because there was so much greenness in terms of this is a new thing that has come. And yeah, I needed to be happy at that moment. I really needed to be happy. So, yes.
Wait, so what's your handle on TikTok? Because now I want to watch.
I think I'm just using Francis Otieno Amonde. I'm using my official names everywhere.
Oh, that's the next thing I'm going to be doing
But,
now.
but
I'm
but
just
I
going to
think
go and look
but
at
I
that
think
guy.
I have a few I have a few videos of even the work that we do in terms of even during the COVID period, the families you are reaching out to and what it took for us to even go to those places. So yeah, I think there are a few videos of that also as well on TikTok. So yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. Well, thank you so much. I really I appreciate you staying all the way up until now. You are indeed a kindness incorporator. I don't care what anybody says. You have now been inducted in this special place that we call Kindness Incorporators. Just because of what you do, the fact that this is what you do for other people all of the time, embodying that is is a blessing. It's a calling, and it also some people may not realize it weighs on your heart. It weighs on your heart so much when people take advantage of your kindness, people take advantage of the situation, people promise you that they're going to give you money and they don't. Um, but you pursuing it and continuing to be strong, and it's inspiring and it's very motivating. And I would personally like to say thank you so much for continuing to go on. And I know uh, I'm not gonna cry. So thank you, thank you, thank
I
you.
should
And
I
um,
should also be thanking you for offering the platform where we share our kindness stories and just sharing our journeys and having like sharing it out there with the world and just people getting to learn about different things and learning about different individuals who are extending a hand of kindness. So it is huge. You might not see it, but yes, just giving that platform for people to share their stories, you just never know. So yes, stop playing small the way you are trying to downplay the platform that you
it's
offer for
tiny.
people to share about their stories. So yeah, I'm so grateful for the opportunity to even be able to share my story and my walk and my journey. And yeah, for me, yeah, it feels nice. That's why I'm this awake. So yeah, and I'm not apologizing for my being awake.
I know I'm the one who's apologizing like so much. But one thing that some people may not know is when I get sales from my merchandise, the merchandise that I sell, um, I make it a point to try as much as possible to see if I can support Cup of Uji. And also, I think it's Sisters for Pads, which is for poverty, for period poverty in Kenya. So, guys, you know about my shop, and if it's possible, Francis, I'd also like to talk to you about maybe if we can figure out how I can help you guys with your merchandise for Cup of Uji and see if it's hard to ship to say the US or something like that, maybe I can print them out for you
Yes, you can
and
print
push
them out.
them,
That would be awesome. Like you just print
right?
them out and get them sold there. And
Yeah.
yeah, you never know how many meals that would mean for a kid. So yeah, that would go a long way. That would be awesome. That would be definitely awesome.
Cool. So we will talk.
Yes.
It's what 4 o'clock in the morning now your time. So we will figure out a way to do this. I know there was a reason why your social media popped up in front of mine. It must be God. It must be the kindness of LinkedIn. It has to be something like
Oh,
somebody must
but
have
by the
liked
way,
your.
let me tell you, and I also need to thank your audience because sometimes I think sometimes we don't play the power of social media. Let me tell you, most of the things that we've been able to do, we've been able to do because of the networks that are there on social media. Like it is just amazing. So yes, so even the audience that is watching this, thank you so much for sacrificing your time. And yeah, you could have had better things to do, but you sacrifice your time to just watch this and just be here, just listening to these stories and listening to us sharing and just being happy. So thank you. We don't take that for granted. It means so much. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Awesome. So I know for 4 o'clock in the morning, this is a bit too much energy. So I am sorry. I am so sorry. But I'm not sorry at the same time. It's both of them. Your kindness is infectious. Like because you're the
That's
one who
true.
walks the walk, you talk the talk. So it makes me happy seeing you, seeing what you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, so we are going to close up. Do you have any final words at 56 minutes in?
Wow. I think the thing that I would say, thank you, Elizabeth, first of all, for just offering this platform of sharing. Uh, that is also another way of you extending kindness, by the way, if you didn't know that. So yes, that is being kind of you. So and then thank you to the audience that have taken their precious time just to listen, just to watch, to partake of this. It we I particularly don't take it for granted. That means so much, And then yeah, let's just try our best to spread kindness. The world needs kindness to heal, because yeah, people are dealing with mental health issues. People are dealing with so much. People are stressed. People are depressed, and just by extending kindness, it takes that off their chest. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that is one important thing we need to do. And yeah, just in that same spirit, each one reach one. Make that phone call, send that text message. You just never know what the person on the other side might have been facing, and what that text message or that phone call might do to them. Make maybe support a cause that is close to your heart. You just never know how long that goes. Volunteer at a place. Right now, I think the US was hit by a hurricane Ida, and I think yeah, so volunteer for some of the organizations that are going out there just to spread kindness. And in the midst of it all, we are dealing with COVID, we're dealing with the hurricane, and then you have the Afghanistans dealing with a lot of things. Just spread some kindness. Join those courses, just support them, be there, be the helping hand. If you have spare time, go there, maybe fix a table. Just yeah, it all goes a long way. It all goes a long way. Yeah.
That's true. Any small thing, as I think you had said, and I'm trying to remember, um, everything goes such a long way, right?
Yes.
Every small
Yeah.
thing you do goes such a long way. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you so much for doing what you do. Um, I honestly feel like just continuing to talk about the awesome things that you do, but I'm like,
It
people
is.
are going to
It is.
start.
It is the little. Let me just say, it is. Let me complete by saying it is the little droplets of water that end up making an ocean. So look, never look at what you're doing as small. Never look at your contribution, your volunteering, your prayers as your encouragement as something small. But it is those little droplets of water that make an ocean. So that is how you're going to make this world better. That is how we're going to spread kindness. So each of us just doing a little bit, but it all ends up being so huge that we even wonder, like, okay, did we just do that? So it's a little droplets of water that end up filling up and making up an ocean. And so those little things that we do contribute to a whole new thing. So yes.
Mm, I wish I typed faster than I do.
No, it is. Oh, okay. It is the little droplets. Yes, you got it right. You got it right. Yes.
Filling up the ocean. I was trying to attach it back to cup of uji. I was like, a cup, little droplets of water end up filling the
Yeah.
cup. The little
Yes. Yes.
piece of uji end up filling the cup. But yes, it's the little parts of kindness. And I will continue talking until forever. So I'm going to stop now. Francis, thank you again. I am
Thank
literally
you.
ending this broadcast because we can continue talking until the end of
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna play the outro.